What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of O to Be Whole with your girl, Camille Young. Yes, I'm sounding a little nasally. This weather is changing, so my sinuses are draining. So sorry, I'm sounding like I'm in like I'm got my nose pinched or whatever. But anyway, look, y'all, so happy to have you here with me. Hello to my holy rollers. How y'all doing? Glad to have you here with me, y'all. I just wanted to jump right on in today and talk about, are you striving or are you stretching? Are you striving or are you stretching? I was listening to, there's this show on YouTube. I think it comes on television too, but it's called Better Together. And I was watching it or listening to it on YouTube. And one of the things that they were talking about was people who are striving versus people who are stretching. And it really made me think about, like, where am I in life? You know, I want you to think about, where are you in life? Are you at a place where you are striving, meaning you are doing things and trying to attain things by way of your own might, by way of your own knowledge, by way of comparison to others? You know, we can be guilty of comparing ourselves to other people, which makes us strive, which makes us want to do things that maybe God hadn't really called us to, or maybe it's not our season for that, you know. And the other side of that striving is stretching. Usually when we're being stretched, it's God. And usually when we're being stretched, it's a very, very uncomfortable place and space that we're in, because God is really trying to get something out of us. Whether it, and probably get something else into us. That's kind of how you know you're about to elevate to another dimension in your life, in your ministry, in where you are spiritually, when you are feeling stretched. I didn't say stressed. Stretched. It's like you're doing all you know to do, you know, in terms of spiritually. You're still maybe having your quiet times, and you're tithing, and you're, you know, fellowshipping with like-minded believers, but it's like God has you in a space where you're not maybe moving in the way or the direction that you want to go in, but you know that you're doing everything that you know to do. Not, and when I say everything that you know to do, meaning you're living a righteous life, living a Christian life, but things, it's like God has you in this stalemate. He has you at what it appears to be an impasse, and or he has you in spaces where it's like, how did I get here? And you're being stretched, and it's just uncomfortable. You know, we've got to know the difference between us striving and us being stretched by God. Because again, when you're striving, usually your motives are not what they need to be. That's usually a telltale sign of whether or not you're being stretched, or if you're striving. If your motives are impure, if your motives are comparison, competition, those things, then you're probably striving. But if your motives are pure, if you're doing all that you know to do, and God just has you in this place, it's a good chance God is stretching you. And if God is stretching you, you're right in the right place. It don't feel like the right place. Trust me, I know. And when I look back on the place in this time when I was being stretched, y'all, it did not feel good. But that's when I grew the most spiritually. That's when I grew the most as a woman. That's when I grew the most of, like, knowing who I am even the more. Like, you have to go through those moments of stretching so that you can develop in the way that you need to develop spiritually and on your wholeness journey. Y'all, this wholeness journey, we never arrive, so we're always in a space of stretching. And I want to encourage somebody today, if you are being stretched by the Lord, hang on in there, because he's right there with you. It may not always feel like it, but he is. He's right there with you. And just know that on the other side of the stretch, you're going to look back and be like, okay, God, now I see what you're doing. Now I see why I had to go through this, because you were preparing me for that next stage of my life. You were preparing me for that elevation in my life. And I thank you. And there was no other way for me to be able to get to that place and be able to maintain that next space that you were taking me into, had I not gone through that period of stretching. Okay? So I just want to encourage you on today. Look at your life. Are you straining or striving, or are you being stretched? Something to think about, okay? Look, thank you so much for joining me on today. Not feeling the best. You can see my face a little swole, baby, from my sinuses. But I'm doing good, baby, because guess what? I choose to rejoice and be glad in it, no matter what situation I find myself in. It's a choice, y'all. It's a choice. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to get the book. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Okay, like and share this content. All right, I hope this was a blessing to you, and I love you. All right, and until next time, you know what it is, y'all. God bless.